Hey guys, AntVenom here, and welcome back to another Minecraft video. And today I'm going to be showing you guys my new original creation that I have created on my Peaceful map. And that is an original potion making system. And you guys just must be like, man, there's so many Peaceful map updates that have been created lately. Well, this one is one of the most complicated ones yet, and I spent all of a few days ago working on it, and it is finally done. So yeah, in order to access the system, you just go into the Mad Science Librariatory here, and then you run through the room here, and then you turn right, and we have the Potion Creation and Modification room. And this is where you collect the potions right here, and it is very, very simple to use, but very hard to explain exactly how it works behind the scenes. So I am going to show you guys me making a potion first, and then I'm going to show you guys how the system works behind the scenes, to the best of my ability. So anyways, let's just go ahead and let's create here a Swiftness potion that has, let's just say, increased potency. And then it is also a splash potion. So yeah, that it just works, guys. Guys, it just works. It just works. So yeah. Anyways, so as you can see here, water bottles came into the system, and then a nether wart came into the system, and then if we were to go ahead and we would wait, you know, the system itself would eventually create the entire potion. And as you can see here, there is sugar right here, and then there is glowstone dust, and then there is gunpowder, and all these three will go in order to create the potion that we want. And it is awesome, and it works great. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to try and explain exactly how the system works, and then we'll come back to the potion afterwards, and you guys will see the completed potion. So yeah, I do want to give a bit of a disclaimer right now. This system is very hard to explain exactly how it works. I tried this a few times earlier, so hopefully I get this right this time, because again, it is very hard to explain. You can even see all the hoppers that are back here that make up this entire system. But before I go trying to explain that, let me explain one useful little bit right here. So when I hit a button, when I hit any one of these buttons right here, any one of these redstone lines are going to toggle into this little device right here, which contains a redstone torch, a hopper that is locked, and a piece of redstone. And what happens when I hit any one of those buttons is that this torch will turn off and this will turn on, which doesn't actually release an item. But then for whatever reason, when this turns back off and this turns back on, it causes a slight delay, which allows one item to come out of any one of these hoppers. And these hoppers comprise of everything that goes on when I hit any one of these buttons. So what's going on when I hit either the night vision, fire resistance, swiftness, instant health regeneration, and strength buttons, and then partially the invisibility button? What happens is that it releases the items into one hopper line. And that hopper line will trigger the release of water bottles, the 3 water bottles that enter the system, and then a nether wart. And what happens when I hit the increased duration, increased potency, or splash effect, or when the secondary ingredient happens for the invisibility potion, which is the fermented spider eye, it does not trigger those two things. So instead, it just allows the item to pass directly to the brewing system without triggering any of those things. So as you can see here, the swiftness potion has been created. Speed 2, 1 minute and 7 seconds. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to kind of let you guys see the redstone in action here. I'm going to hit the invisibility potion bit here. You can see the redstone just toggles to those right there, and then I'll hit increased duration, and I'm gonna make sure it doesn't become a splash potion. But yeah, you can hear all kinds of redstone goodness going on here. And I'm going to show you guys how this redstone goodness works from within now. So again, like I said before, the items are going into one of 2 different hopper lines. And if you look to the ceiling here, you can see I have a whole bunch of different blocks that are going on here. What you can do is you can ignore the gold, the iron, the diamond, the sandstone, the clay, the dirt, the cobblestone, the sponge, the brick that's happening right here, and the obsidian. You can ignore those, because what those are is they follow the line that just the redstone does. And the redstone, what I mean by that is when you hit a button, the redstone just, you know, if you look at it like this, the redstone will go from here to 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 here, and that is the strength effect. So it's just the transport of redstone. That's all that is. What you want to be paying attention to, again, is where the specific items go. And as I said before a few times, they go into one of 2 different lines. And the 2 lines are this line right here, you know, that this is one of the main lines, and this right here is another one of the main lines. So what's going on when I press the button for night vision, fire resistance, swiftness, healing, strength, and regeneration, what's going on is that the items will go into this hopper line right here. And what happens as the items are moving throughout that line is that when the item passes through here, it will hit this comparator. The comparator will activate, and it will, the redstone signal will go from here, go to here, and it will release. It'll cause that release thing that I talked about earlier, and it will release a nether wart into the system. And as it's doing that, the item, goes from here. Again, it just, as I said before, it activates this. It just keeps going and going and going and going. It goes into here, and then it goes into that hopper that's right there. And that hopper activates, oh god, if I can even get around here, that hopper right here activates this comparator, which activates this piece of redstone, which activates the water bottle dispensing system, which is up here. So as you can see, there are tons and tons of water bottles in here. There's a few that are waiting. There's none right here. And essentially, the way that this works, the way that this whole redstone mess is it allows for only 3 water bottles to be released into the system. So that's what happens when you create any of the primary potions. Now, obviously, as you guys might be able to imagine, if I were to add something like a duration, a potency, or a splash effect, I would not want the release of that to happen, because if I release another set of those, it just messes up the whole system. Instead, when you add something like a modifier, like the duration, potency, or splash effect, you would want it to skip both of those things. You wouldn't want the release of more nether warts or more water bottles. So instead what happens is those 3 things feed into this line right here. So it just feeds into here, right here, bam, bam, it just keeps feeding. So it feeds here, 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 here. And then this hopper goes into this hopper, as you can kind of see the way it's turning. And then it goes into this secondary line, which, as I said before, skips both of those things. So the hopper line does not hit this comparator. And the hopper line, as it stands here, if I just keep going to where this eventually ends, it skips the water bottle line and instead just goes into this dropper raising system thing of sorts. So yeah, that is how that works. And another thing that I wanted to note as well, you guys probably heard me disinclude the invisibility potion before. Because the way the invisibility potion works, this is, the one little unique gem of the system, is that the invisibility potion actually activates 2 separate lines. It goes from here to here, and then the signal splits off and activates the night vision line, because the night vision potion is the first potion you need in order to create an invisibility potion. And then what happens is that it splits off and goes to the right here and is fairly delayed because it needs to go in after the night vision. It goes into this line right here, which releases a fermented spider eye, which is what you need to add to a night vision potion in order to create an invisibility potion. And this one actually goes into the second line right here. This is the second line right here, and they all kind of meet up right here, which is why there's a brick above me, because these are actually, yeah, forget that I just said that. But anyways, so the fermented spider eye goes into this line right here, which goes into here, which makes its way into the secondary line. Oh my god. It is very complicated to explain. So yeah, that is how the entire system works in a nutshell. I think I've pretty much just explained everything. All of these hoppers are just item transport that allows the items to get up here and into this brewing stand in the right order. So let's go ahead and let's create ourselves, or at least start the creation of one more potion. Let's just do, yeah, we've already done a splash potion of swiftness here. Let's go ahead and let's see if there's anything in the line here. There is. Okay, so these are the invisibility potions that we created earlier, and it is awesome. So yeah, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to just very simply create, let's just create a strength potion. Why not? Let's give it increased potency as well. Why not? Oh my god. So yeah, me explaining that, it was a bit smoother than my previous attempts, thankfully. So every time you hear that click, 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 that means that there are new items entering the system. So as you can see here, we have our water bottle, we have our nether wart, and if I go ahead and I break the slab again, you can see that the items right here are waiting. We have the blaze powder, we have the glowstone, and that is going to create our increased potency strength potion. So yeah. So anyways, guys, I hope you all have enjoyed me explaining and showing off this system. If you guys want to check it out for yourselves, as always, the pixel map link is going to be in the description below for the video. Hope you all have enjoyed. My name is AntVenom, and actually, you know what? I bet you guys want me to wait for the strength potion to finish up. You guys want me to wait for that? Yeah, you want me to wait for this. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna wait for this. So as you can see, we have ourselves the strength potion here, and it is awesome. And all we have to do is we just wait for the brewing stand to be done with our stuff, and we'll be good to go. Let me make sure I've repaired all the walls I need to. Looks like I have. So yeah. Anyways, guys, hope you all have enjoyed this video. My name is AntVenom, and I bid you all farewell. Strength 2 potions. Thanks so much for watching.